Hey friend, David here from Learn Stage Lighting, and today I want to read to you a classic tale. The tale of two or maybe more tablets. That's right. Today we're going off the beaten path a little bit, and we're talking about tablets. Why the heck am I talking about tablets? Well, many of you guys know, and if you're not living under a rock, it's okay if you are, that tablets are kind of the in thing for controlling different audio and video consoles. I mean, you can control audio, video, and lighting. You can control standalone consoles, PCs, use tablets for notes, do screen extensions, all kinds of stuff. These can be really useful tools in the tool bag of the AV professional or hobbyist, or somebody just playing with light. And so when it comes to tablets, one of the questions that I always get, I mean at least a couple times a week, is, hey, I'm working with whatever, the Light Shark or Onyx or OSC or whatever, and I need a tablet. What tablet should I buy for the best price? Because naturally, I mean, these are accessory items. They're typically not running our actual console, but there's something we use to be able to control wirelessly, make setting changes, do things on the fly, look at notes, take notes, go to meetings, all sorts of things like that. And a lot of times, this tablet is kind of a single-use thing, right? While for personal use or gaming or whatever, I might want a nicer tablet in order to be able to really easily play games and multitask and have all sorts of apps open. A lot of times with lighting or audio or video, I only need this tablet to do a single thing at a time. I only need it to run one application or maybe two at a time, and my needs can be pretty simple. And so when I look at the cost, and I was talking to a friend about this the other day actually, when I look at the cost of like an iPad from Apple, $300-400 or more, depending on how nice of one you want, you start to think, wow, do I really need to spend that much for live production, for lighting or audio or video? And the answer is no. And so for the longest time, just to walk you through my trajectory, is I told people, go buy Samsung Galaxy Tab A's. This is a 10-inch version. And they retail, I think they retail around $300-350, a little bit less than an iPad. But you can find them used on eBay really inexpensively. They don't carry their value quite as well as Apple products, which helps us out if we're trying to buy something inexpensive. For example, before the coronavirus epidemic hit, I bought this one on eBay for $120. That's the 2018 version, and it's a really nice tablet. I mean, I think it was shipped to me $130, out the door, nice tablet. But I still had people asking me a lot, and once COVID hit, prices for tablets and used tablets availability went away. The prices went up, and they were really hard to find on the used market for reasonable costs. And so I began looking again, and I said, okay, say I am a band or a church or just somebody running lights or sound for people. What is the cheapest tablet? What are the cheapest performance benchmarks I would want to hit that would be able to do everything I need, but be really inexpensive, right? Maybe I could even buy two. And so that's what I want to bring you today, because I went on Amazon, and first off, I looked at tablets, okay? Now, I've used the Amazon Kindle Fire stuff in the past, and I'm not a big fan of it. They, historically, and I think currently, only have the Amazon Android App Store and not the Google one. And there are some apps, particularly apps that are suited to our industry, that you cannot place onto those tablets without, doing some hacky stuff, which I've done. But not only that, the look and feel of them is not that great. I'm not a huge fan of them for the kind of work we do, okay? A lot of people buy them, and, there's things you can't uninstall, things you can't undo. And that's actually another really good point, okay? With the Samsung, I like it. It's got a nice screen. It's a nice tablet, right? This is their Galaxy Tab A. But there's so much on here that you can't uninstall. It's just like an iPad, there's things that pop up and things that you literally can't uninstall because they're from the manufacturer on it. Okay, so I went on Amazon and I bought this. This is the Vankyo, thank you very much, MediaPad S10, I believe is the exact model, yes. It features 2 gigs of RAM, a quad-core processor, and I've been putting this thing to the test, and I'm pretty surprised, okay? So this is a $90 tablet. When I bought it, it was $100, but they had a $10 coupon on Amazon, which I think is a permanent thing, okay? $100, okay? Let me tell you about some of the tests that I've put it through. Over the past few weeks since I bought this thing, first of all, I pulled it out of the box. It's got a really nice box. It's like, you know, just as nice of a box as an Apple or Android product. You know, a nice box. It's a nice box. And I noticed, I thought it was thicker than my Galaxy Tab A, but then I looked at the two right here on this table, and I mean, it's marginally thicker, but it's not crazy. It features a plastic over the screen, so it's not glass, but the screen does get nice and bright, and it doesn't produce glare. For example, this past weekend on Saturday, I was outside running audio for a wedding, okay? I was using this tablet for my notes, and it performed flawlessly. I was able to see always in the light. It didn't overheat when I left it in the sunlight, unlike my iPad. And I was able to have it there as a backup for playing music and stuff and to keep my notes on all night long. Worked perfect. But back to the details. So it's got USB-C charging as well. And the back of it and the sides they're definitely a plastic, but there's some kind of there's a coating to it. It's got a little bit of grip, and I dig that. Because in this industry, you want grip. Sometimes things get slippery. You don't want to send this flying, but if you do, at least it was inexpensive. Okay? Coming down on the features, I installed a number of apps on this. I, first of all, used my web browser, Chrome, which is built into it, to access the Lightshark. Haven't ever noticed any lag or anything. It always works as it's supposed to. I installed some OSC apps like Touch OSC. I installed Laser OS, back to that in a minute. Music stand from Planning Center, because I'm considering getting a bunch of these for my church, because we're going to make the move to tablets at some point. Google Docs, Google Spreadsheets. I put a Mixing Station X32 on here for audio, the Allen & Heath SQ Mix Pad, and Google Home as well. So I filled this up basically with a number of industry apps that people use a lot, and I put it to the test. And it performs really well. When you open up any app on this one, first of all, there's not a lot of extra apps that you have to disable. Anything you might want that pops up, you can get rid of and disable. And it just works really well. So I'll open up OSC for an example. And, you know, we see when we work with this, controls happen. The screen feels reasonable. It's got a little bit of touchiness to it. It's got like a grip to it almost when you touch it. It's not necessarily bad. It seems accurate. And when we go to our app drawer, this is important. So say I pull up my app drawer from the bottom here, and I look at all my different apps, right? Not my app drawer, my Alt-Tab menu, as I'd call it. Right at the bottom here, it actually tells me out of the 2 gigs of RAM, how much is available. And I can close all the apps right there. And I really dig that because, sure, like, this is not a multitasking machine. And by the way, I'll link to it below. It will be an affiliate link on Amazon. I'll get like 0.5% if you buy through that link, which I appreciate, but it's not going to pay my bills anytime soon. And so it's not a multitasking master, but like at the end of the day, if this is a single-use thing, it's running 1 or 2 apps at a time, maybe 3, but I need a dedicated screen to do some kind of show control, I really think this thing's a winner. You know, everything's been great on it. Battery works, the screen gets plenty bright, it works fine. It even received a software update the other day, which I think is great, a security update. And if you're going to be using this on show networks to do show things and not get overly complicated with it, I think it's worth a look at. These guys also in the $150 range have some octa-core and even better tablets that you could potentially look at. They say the screens are better too. Personally, for controlling things in industry stuff, this screen is fine. It's 720p at 10 inches, and do you need 1080p at 10 inches for show control? And so with that, guys, that's basically a review of this thing. I've been testing it. I've been trying to break it. And when I throw various show control apps at it, I haven't had any problems. Is this an iPad? No. Is this a high-end Samsung or other Android tablet? No, it's not. But if you need a tablet for single use or maybe just a couple uses in show control, I think this is definitely a great buy. I think it's a much better buy than the Kindle Fires. It's even a better buy than the Samsung Galaxy Tab A just because there's no bloatware on it. And honestly, makes me want to get off of here, though my wallet won't like this, and buy one of their nicer tablets and see how good it is compared to the Samsung. Because I bet for the price of the Samsung, you might get from Vankyo a really similar app that can do everything you need. A similar tablet that can do everything you need with similar performance but without the bloatware. So, with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. I do check them about once a week and try to reply to as many as I can. And if you're just beginning with stage lighting and you landed here, head over to learnstagelighting.com, grab my free guide to begin with lighting, and don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube to get our latest videos. I will see you in our next video. Thanks.